Conversation too.
We are live. All right, Black Box Radio. We are in the box, but guess what, guys? I am in the Chuck. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So you see my little orientation, but I just want to still stay on path. We got to still come to the people. So this is Black Box Radio. We are in the bbR Spotlight, and I'm Queen. I am the host at Black Box Radio. We are a media platform illustrating Black excellence. We platform Black people, we expose Black genius, and we definitely disseminate information to the Black community and to other communities. And today we have a spotlight on something so fly, something so dope, something so amazing. And I'm going to be a little transparent because I know a little something about a little something. So I know a little something about this subject tonight. And I have my dear elevator mama um, from Baltimore called Jennifer Clark. She is in the building. Say hi to the people.
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, Jennifer, you gotta give a little more. Hold
Oh,
on.
I gotta get more.
You gotta
Hey,
do
how
that.
you
Hello,
doing?
hello, hello. You
Hello,
gotta
hello,
do better than
hello.
that. We're in the sister circle. You got to do better than that. But
Oh
we got
yeah.
Jennifer. I promise you, Jennifer is the bomb. So Jennifer, we have Jennifer Clark. She is well. I want you to tell the people who you are
Okay.
and exactly what you do at Baltimore Court, and actually, what is Baltimore Court? So you have the floor.
Okay. So Baltimore CorpS is a nonprofit located in Baltimore City. Our tagline is "We connect talent with opportunity." So how do we do this? We have a flagship program, our fellowship program.
Mhm.
And through the fellowship, fellows are placed within the social impact sector. So the mayor's office, the health department, um, like T. Rowe Price Foundation,
Mm.
Exxon. We've had fellows all placed within there in order to help make some of their practices a little more equitable. And often a couple of fellows have came back to say that some of the opportunities that they had at their placements were opportunities that they would not have received any other way outside of the fellowship.
Got it.
Um, we just brought on a new AmeriCorps program. It is the first AmeriCorps program in the country
Mm.
like this. It's the Baltimore City Health Corps. And so through this program, at the end of it, if people so choose, they can go on to get their CNA or they can leave the program with a CNA certificate. And also, like the skills that they would need in order to transition into full on health um, like careers.
So what
Um,
is it, like a apprenticeship, or are you just teaching skills? What
well,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
AmeriCorps is like an apprenticeship. It's a
Okay.
year-long program. They too get placements. Their placements are in health-centered organizations.
Okay.
So yeah, they'll be getting skills like tailored toward health, toward the health career.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with the understanding that we know that there's like a huge gap in like employment now for that. So like it's if you go into the health field, you're almost always guaranteed a
We're gonna
job.
get you a job.
Yeah. You're gonna get a job. So we have that. We have SIE, which is what I'm over. I am the director of social innovation and entrepreneurship, and I have the privilege of overseeing Kiva Baltimore. Kiva is an international nonprofit. Through Kiva, we are able to lend up to $15,000. It's micro lending, non interest loan. We also have a program called, or service called the Artist Navigator. It is
Hmm.
a platform for artists and creatives. It's
Oh
a way
wow.
for you to get resources, to share resources, to get information about the art scene in Baltimore City. And if you would like to get additional one on one information, we have an artist navigator who you can reach out to, and he can do case management with you. Through a partnership with T. Rowe Price, we have the Entrepreneur in Residency program, and through that, participants are able to leverage the T. Rowe Price network and their resources, and
Hmm.
then they were able to get a grant. And last but not least, and why I'm here to speak tonight, is the
Okay.
Elevation Awards, which is a $10,000 seed grant given to community leaders who are doing great work in the community. You have to be at least 18 years of age. You have to be a person of color. You have to live in Baltimore City, and your program has to have some sort of tie to Baltimore City. Like, this doesn't need to be the only place that you work and do your program, but it needs to happen in Baltimore City.
So that's why we're here, the
Yes.
Elevation Award. Okay. And so Baltimore Core has a lot going on. You guys are doing a lot, and you've added some stuff, I see. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, being Black, I think I'm Black. Yes, all Black.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. So being Black, it is not many times that opportunities like that come to Black people, first of all, and especially for us to build our communities. So can you say what is the actual application of like a grant for 10,000 resources in the community when it comes to your feedback? Are these programs actually going forth, or are they actually just in the pilot stage? Do they stay there? How does that process work when it comes to the Elevation Award?
So the Elevation Awards is like a planning grant. So we get people
Okay.
from like all different stages. We get people who just have an idea, who are like, I saw this thing, I feel like I could correct it. And so I came up with this idea, right? So I'm gonna
Mhm.
apply and get started. Then we have people who are like, I'm out here doing this work. I've never gotten funded. I have no real systems or structure in place.
Mhm.
And then it's people that are like, oh, I've been doing this work. Like, I have maybe gotten a little bit of money. I have a little bit of a system figured out, but I still need help. Um, so it could be anyone, like any of those like phases
Okay.
for the applications.
So, in other words, this can be just a figment of your imagination. It could be a good figment of your imagination, but if it makes sense, it is something that can be awarded this planning grant, and then 10 months of support and access to the Baltimore core world.
Yes, yes, yes. I think after conversations with former awardees, I think the additional support and connection to the network are things that people valued and appreciated a lot more than the $10,000. I mean,
That's it.
$10,000 is great, but then it's like, what happens afterwards? And people often need that additional support once they get done. So yes, once you're in, you're in. Like,
And that's a good
jumped
thing.
in.
Yeah, you're in. Once you in, it's yours. So I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to be a little transparent because I coined the word elevator.
Mhm.
So elevation award, I'm an elevation awardee. I'm an elevator 2021, 2022, right, Jennifer?
Yes.
And I will say that it has been the best experience that I've ever had. Um, my project, which is called the Squeegee Project, I had this great idea, and it was this grandiose idea that I could do this to help young people between the ages of 18 24. But it actually helped me hone my idea into what could be delivered. Because some of the times, we want to help our community so much that we have all of these ideas. Oh, I want to do this, and the community needs this. But you're one person,
Right.
and your program has to be able to deliver and it actually helped. And so I was able to hone my ideas into something that is now deliverable.
Mhm.
I'm still working on it, and we haven't launched, but this was the pilot that I needed. And like she said, let me tell you, the people that you're surrounded with the other social entrepreneurs, because I was in a cohort with 8, right, Jennifer? And
Mhm.
three,
Well,
we had three former
right.
mentors
Alumni.
who
Yeah.
were already awardees. So it was actually 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And but the people that you meet who are actually doing great things in Baltimore City, who have a passion for changing Baltimore City into a beautiful place in their neighborhoods or the whole city proper. I have met the greatest people, and we're still building together. Actually, we're going to do businesses together. We collaborate. It is thebomb.com. I'm being honest, and y'all know I keep it 100. You know how I comes, I keep 100 out shit. So I tell you if it was trash, real talk. It is not trash. It is real. Jennifer was our actual co-op mama. So she guided me. So we have a little personal relation. You see, I'm so comfortable because she's my mammy. So I'm real comfortable with her. But she really guided us for 10 months. We could call her. Me, I call you anytime. But we could,
And
believe
you
I,
did.
believe I will. But we could call her anytime. And she really guided us. And you don't even understand. That was last year. And we still keep in touch. We just had dinner.
Yeah.
We just had dinner a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So we still keep in touch with Jennifer. We still have to support Fagan, who is actually the CEO. We have access to the CEO. Some of us do. I don't know if all of us do, but you do have access to him because he's accessible. You know, he's a community guy. I just want to tell you guys, for our communities, if you want support, if you want to learn something new, because not only for the 10 months, you're actually being taught how to structure your program. You have homework. You really have to put in some sweat equity. But when I tell you, it's all going to work out. So, and I mean, it's not like college, but you're going to have to do
You
some
said
homework.
it was. You said it was. You said it
I was trying to keep it 90.
was.
But yeah, trust me, it was. She worked us. I don't know what they thought. We had already graduated from college, but I went back to Morgan State U times 2 for that call. But it was the best experience I ever had, and I want to say that to people, and that's why they're back here on my show, because it was trash. They wouldn't be here. And I really want people to, if you're digging in your pockets, if you're taking care of your neighborhood, you're doing things in your neighborhood that is making it go forward. The kids know you because you are pouring into their lives. Apply, apply, apply. Please apply, because you will come out on the other end a better person. I promise you that. Jennifer, tell them the process of applying and how long they have to apply, that type of thing.
Yes. Okay. So applications are open. Applications are open until November 1st. And what I will say about this application is we try to make it as user-friendly as possible. This might be one of the easiest grant applications you can apply for. There are two main questions that you need to focus on. One of them is how you got your start in social justice in Baltimore City. And the other one is your project description. When you break down your project description, break it down. And then I always advise you to have someone who has no idea what you want to do, who has never heard you talk about this work, or if you're already doing it, has no idea the work that you're doing. If they're able to read it and understand what you're doing, then we'll be able to read it and understand what you're doing.
Exactly. But it's like 400 letters. Will you be able to get it?
It's like 4,000.
Oh, it's 4,000.
Yeah. We give you some.
I saw it is much more. Trust me, guys, it is much more condensed than what I filled out. So they really made it more user friendly. So get on it. Yeah. So they can put their whole project description the same way that we did before.
Okay. Right. Yeah. The whole project description, the areas that you want to work in, the zip codes, and then your project focus. I will say, this is caveat, everyone, or not everyone, there are 1,000,001 youth development programs out here. If you're working with the youth, like you just said, pouring into the youth, what makes your program different from everyone else?
Many that's out here.
Yeah. What makes it innovative? What is going to make us be like, oh, we've never seen and or heard that piece around youth development before. Yeah, just make it creative.
So listen, we're giving you guys game, because you have filling out applications. Sometimes you just don't know what would be favorable, and you kind of get wordy. Be specific. Have, like she said, have somebody read it who doesn't have a clue. So then what you wrote gives them the whole totality of what you want to do, because it needs to be a finished thought. Because understand that a lot of people will be applying for this award. So she's giving you game. You said, what else did you say, Jennifer? You said
to be innovative. I do want to give the caveat: we are not English professors. Nobody cares where you put a semicolon or a
how
period.
Smart you are.
Right. As long as we know what you're trying to do, that's all we care about. So there's no points will be taken off because you misspelled something, or as long as we can clearly follow what you're trying to do, that's it.
And that's what's up, because remember, a lot of people come in and they want to have, advanced degrees. That's not what this is about. This is about service. Service is not sometimes rooted in education. It's rooted in your heart and your ability to want to serve your community. So sometimes you can't even spell service, but you really doing service. Real talk. So she's telling you, this is all game. Don't worry about.
And I can read it because I used to teach first grade.
Exactly.
So
third grade. That's all we need from you.
I can read whatever.
You learn how to construct a sentence in third grade. So third grade, and you got it. So can you kind of tell them, because a lot of people will ask them, well, what's the process? So once you do, so how does this thing go about it once they say you submit? How does it go from there? What happens from there?
So you submit, and then application closes. We send it off to community reviewers. Who are community reviewers? Community reviewers are people from our network. So former fellows, former elevation awarees. Okay. And I'm going to tell you, the former elevation awarees go hard in the paint. So
they tough.
they are some of the hardest critics. And then just regular community partners that have been within our network. So it goes through 2 rounds with the community reviewers. And then the last round is an interview, and you'll have an interview with a team, some people from Baltimore CorpS, and then also community. Ooh, am I frozen? Okay, I'm back. And then also community people as well. Probably a couple of former awardees will be in those interviews.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's not like you got a good idea and you just get there. Your idea has to be written so they can understand it. Remember that. And then once it closes, then it's going to be reviewed by others, and they're tough. People don't just give you money. I'm going to tell you right now, it don't just work like that. And then once you get there, you're going to have the interview. Let me tell you guys, I interviewed in my bathrobe with cooking some grits. Because they caught me. I didn't know what was going on. And that's real talk. Remember, Jennifer? I had on the bathrobe.
You were in South Carolina.
I had on my bathrobe. And so I just want you guys to know that, listen, they're not worried about how you look. They're not worried about how you talk. It's about service. And I mean, you do have to be a Baltimore City resident. You do have to serve the Baltimore City proper. And you have to be BIPOC. What is BIPOC, sis?
You need to be a person of color, black.
Because they said black. Oh, sorry, just black. That's what I want to hear.
Black, Hispanic, Asian.
Okay. So you got to be. They don't want to say minority, but you know how I roll. They say here, but I think it's the majority. So you got to be of the minority class of this country, which is a beautiful thing, because most things we have to compete with other folks who really have more resources. So I'm telling you, this is an unbelievable opportunity. So I heard some people there asking, like, what are you guys looking for? Are you looking for certain programs? What does Baltimore need that Baltimore Core is really looking for? Is there spaces or categories that you really want to pour into?
So again, this is back to like community needs, right? Like y'all dictate what Baltimore needs, and like where like you're in the, like people are in the community, so they understand the needs of their community. For us, when we're talking about like applications and like what ends up going through, it's really like innovative and creative projects and stuff that like we haven't necessarily heard before, and it's a different spin on some of those works. I know that the 3 biggest areas, like buckets, that we normally get are like youth development, workforce development, and then health and wellness, which makes sense, right? Like these are all really big areas
in our community. Yeah,
exactly. So
I think, and I'm just telling, I'm putting out a low game, and listen, I don't have no stake in this game. I'm not a reviewer. I'm nothing. I'm just hosting tonight. That's all I do. But I think in our community, we have to talk about our elderly. So I'm telling folks, listen, do something innovative with the elderly, and because we leave our seniors out, and they're very important. We need our wisdom, and a lot of seniors are aging in place. And so I'm being, I don't know if they've considered that. Listen, I don't have a stake, but I know in our community what it needs because I'm a Black woman. And seniors are something that we sometimes don't think about, but they are in the community. So I don't know about if that's something.
We haven't had any people, I'm not saying that nobody has applied around helping seniors in the community, but we haven't had any sort of that made it to the finals
To the
around
finals, okay.
helping seniors in the community, or even a tie of seniors into the community, right? Like nobody utilizing them as like the mamas and the babas, and they're the ones that
like
are doing like,
storytelling or access to the
yeah.
young folks. We have to include the wisdom in our community. And so that's what I'm saying is I'm giving someone, if someone is doing something amazing with seniors, please apply. Because that would probably, I haven't seen that in our network. And I think it would help. It would, it makes sense. We have things for prenatal and moms.
We do.
But I have not seen much with the over 55 population.
No.
Right? Am I correct in that assessment?
Yes, and we've even had awardees who were seniors.
Are you trying to talk about me, Jennifer? Please.
You don't have your AARP card yet.
Yeah.
You're right. Card. You pulling it out.
Yeah.
No, so not you, but there have been some other ones that have participated. So that's another thing. Like, as long as you're 18, that's fine. Like, there's a huge age range between participants, and I think that's something that
there's no limit. 18 and above.
It's great for the cohort, right? Because you have different kind of energy, different kind of expertise,
Absolutely.
different kind of experience.
Yes.
But that would be a great, a creative idea. Someone figure it out.
I'm just trying to give y'all some game because I haven't seen it in the network because I'm a part of it. And I think that even with our neighborhoods, sometimes in our communities, we forget about our seniors. Yeah. But in the Village of Africans, we keep our seniors at home and we take care of them. And if they don't have anybody to take care of, the community steps up. So I'm just trying to put a little game out there because I think that this award is amazing because I've done it myself. It's grueling, but amazing. Yes, I will say that. So, and when it comes to the Elevator Award, do you guys see it grow? Because I'm gonna be honest, $10,000 is a start, but do you see that it would be an investment that would be more at some point where folks can, or it's just strictly on the planning side, and then you got to go out afterwards and get your money to really take your program to new levels?
Yeah, for us, it's really, at least when I was over it, yes, it's a planning grant. Really, it's the opportunity for people to see if this is something that they want to continue to pursue, right? Like if the $10,000 is an investment in you and your work, but more so you. And for you to figure out if entrepreneurship is like a thing for you. Entrepreneurship, from what I've heard and from what I've seen, is a grind. And it's not for the faint of heart. And some of our awardees have gone through and have decided it wasn't for them, and they don't do this work anymore. For those that do continue, there are opportunities. I mean, I'm not trying to say that Elevation Awards carries like a whole lot of weight, but it definitely does carry weight when you put on applications that you were a former Elevation awardee. Baltimore City is small. We're pretty known through like funders and people understand our programming. We're in networks. I'm in networks with, Miss Pam King from OSI, Social Innovation Lab at Hopkins, Baltimore News at Loyola. So if these are all additional opportunities to which you can gain additional funding and or support, then it does look good that you have participated in a program like Elevation Awards. I will say that Baltimore is full of like small to mid-level like nonprofits.
Yes.
And so we have tried, these are conversations that I had with people at Social Innovation Lab. This is even a conversation I had with people at Echo and Green. And they were seeing with their cohort of people, for those that don't know, Echo and Green is a fellowship of Michelle Obama, or First Lady.
Common. Yep.
Put some
Common is an Echo and Green.
respect
Yep.
on her name. Yes.
Respect.
She was the Echo and Green Fellow. Our founder and CEO, Fagan Harris, is the Echo and Green Fellow.
Yep.
So it's a fellowship. And even in conversations with them, it was like, okay, so what's going on with people that go through your fellowship? Like, are they seeing those opportunities? And a lot of people are saying, well, there's a bit of a stall. So it's really hard for people of color, one, to get any kind of capital.
Yeah.
And I think the traction from going from like having nothing to like being a multi-million-dollar like nonprofit and to get funding is like really hard. People are just less inclined to fund that middle stage.
Yeah.
They're more inclined to fund startup phase, and then like we're
proven stage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
so I'm trying. I'm advocating for y'all all the time. I'm like, well, we need more. They need more money. They need more resources.
Exactly. And I'm telling you that I'm asking that question because that's where we are when it comes to our project. We're in a space where we're looking now to develop the program, and there's not a lot of money out there for development. So you have to be creative, and you might have to look at other fellowships, as she spoke of, because I think with the Elevator Award, it is the platform, it's the springboard into all of the other things that are the fellowship, the John Hopkins lab, Echo Green. I don't think if you had Bmore Corp on your resume, it's favorable. I think it's very favorable. So that is something that you should think about. But the process of developing your program, you got to be proactive in that too. And so, but our communities need programming, and no one gives us startup money. So we got to start somewhere. So that's why I think start somewhere. That's the thing. Apply for this.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really hard for us to get capital, just like
Yes.
period, right? To be Black and to be a Black woman, like it doesn't matter. Like
you're finished.
Yeah, you're done. Recently had a conversation with she created an organization called Stimuli. So it's they do like feminine care products for women.
Mm-hmm.
She's a Morgan graduate.
I like her already. BS for life.
And so that was a conversation that she was having, like even going into spaces with like white men, and they were like, oh, well, we don't think that you know enough about this. How do I not know enough about this? Like, I am a woman. Like,
what do you know, sir?
What more do you need? And it was just like, we don't think this is fundable. But yet a white man could come in that same space and be like, well, we need X, Y dollars. And they're like, oh, we're gonna cut the check, right?
Mm-hmm. So innovative, so amazing. Yeah.
Understanding these pieces is like really why this is like so important, right? Like that's the reason why we have Elevation Awards. It's the reason why we have Kivas, because it's like we know it's hard for people to get funding. We know it's hard for y'all to get capital, and we're giving you these opportunities to do so. And really it's without penalty, right? Like if you get this $10,000 and you decide it's not for me, or you take this $10,000 and you blow it on pencils and backpacks for you for people, that's fine, right? Like at least you got to see that being an entrepreneur wasn't for you. But guess what? That doesn't mean that we're not going to do for somebody that came behind you just because you decided that this wasn't for you, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're not going to stop. It's not going to mean that there's like one less person in the cohort because you didn't decide to continue doing it, right? It's no cost. Like we're not asking for your money back. We're not shunning you in the streets.
That was my next question. Like, is there a penalty? I want folks to know there's no penalty.
No.
That this is strictly wanting you to get in a space where you plan and you see if you can actually execute. Mm-hmm. And if you don't execute, it's okay. But we want you to be the mindset because our community needs the services. But if you can't execute it, there's no penalty. They're not going to come back and say, listen, I need 5% of that joint.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's not like that. And so that's what even makes it better. Is like you don't have, because most of the time being Black is pressure. And you know, pressure busts pipes, damn
Yeah.
it. And so we don't need any more pressure, especially when we're trying to service ourselves through our trauma and
Yeah.
in our community. So we need sometimes no pressure, just help us. And that's what this is.
Right. And we've only had one person who didn't finish the program, and even then, like he got to a point where it was like under me, there's only been one person that didn't finish the program,
Got it.
and and I completely understand it, no fault of him. It was a really rough time. I mean, it was like
Mhm.
at the break of the pandemic. Um, but then we'd already distributed money, and he came back and was like, "Well, do I need to give this back?" No, you don't need to give it back. Like you, like
Wow.
I mean, it was midway that you discovered this wasn't for you, but like you still use that money in order to help support your cause. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm sorry you couldn't finish, but like, yeah, take that, do what you need to do with that, and it's good.
And I really love that. B course will take the L. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. They will take the L, but the biggest thing is if you want to go for that W. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, you want to go for that win, because if you stay in, you're gonna get in and you'll be in for life. With they're on what you on, you got your seventh cohort or your eighth? This
seven. This will be
this
the
will be the
seven.
seventh, right?
Mhm.
And you know, so I think I was five.
You were five. You were
I
my
was
last
five.
one.
Yeah, I was five, and so they're on seven, and it's no stopping. I don't see this ending. Actually, you guys are spreading like mustard. And you're gonna do this in other places. So it's just a pleasure to be a part of this network, and the people who are around you. It's like a therapeutic circle. I'm telling you, it's just people who have such innovative, amazing ideas, and they're being applied to Black people and Black communities. I don't know where that's happening at.
No, I think for me, just watching you all, I always give the caveat, like I'm not an entrepreneur. I
Hmm.
don't like I'm not. I'm also um, just like not in that space in the same way that y'all are. And I say this, I was like, there's no other feeling than like maybe being at like 8 o'clock and you're trying to submit a grant. I mean, I'm available. You reach out to me all day, but like I don't know what it's like to be like, I need these numbers. I need to get this in. Like I'm gonna listen to you and I'm gonna give you like I'm a thought partner with you and I'm gonna give you feedback, but it's not going to be the same as someone who's like in it too, who's like, girl, I just worked 8 hours. I had to
Yep.
come home and fill out this grant. These kids is crying. I had to feed my husband, like
Yep.
all of this stuff. And I got this grant due. I like they under it's an
It's an
understanding.
empathy thing, a lived experience, and to have that buffer. And remember now, you're going to spend 10 months. I think every second Wednesday. I don't know what we did. Every first Wednesday or second Wednesday, something like that. It was a
Second
Wednesday. I remember
Wednesday,
that. Huh?
second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday. That was party time, shorty. So, second Wednesday. So you're going to be with these people over and over. You're going to develop a relationship. In our case, we were the first virtual
Yep.
cohort because of the pandemic. So that's what even made it amazing too, because Baltimore CorpS, first of all, they didn't stop. They continued. They developed a program that was virtual. It had kinks because it was the first time,
Mhm.
but we were still able to connect. But what happened with us is we made an effort to connect ourselves. That we didn't meet in person, but we definitely made an effort to connect ourselves. And that's what happened. These will be connections. It's almost like you're going to college with someone and you have these lifelong friends. But 10 months, you're going to work hard together because you're going to have to call somebody and be like, listen, help me with this. And you're going to make a relationship. And relationships doing what you are passionate about, those are relationships that stick around. You're passionate about your program. This person is passionate, and you're both servicing. What better game is that to get it from another servicer?
Right.
So so
And
that
it's partnerships too, right? Because there are funders that are like, I
they're
only
looking
fund
for partnerships.
partners. Yeah.
Hmm. T. Rowe Price loves partnerships.
Zero Price loves
I'm
partnership.
putting their game out there. They love you to partner. They don't like you saying can't be single. You gotta be married.
Yes.
Yeah, they love partnerships, and so it's and some of these folks have endless cash. So You know, if you are able to partner with something that makes your program better, and also someone that you spend some time with, or they're in a network, and you imagine that, and you guys are able to access funds and build together. Did you, this little idea now made you have collaborations with others. You're getting money from Fortune 500 companies. That is where, this is how this starts. We always say, ain't nothing out here for us. This is out here for us.
Yeah.
I can say this because I did it. There'd be a difference. I was sitting here when I first interviewed Jennifer. I was I wasn't an awardee, so I was asking all these questions. But today I am. I've been through it, and I'm going to always do this because I want other people to understand and have access to this information. Baltimore CorpS is a dope organization, and not only is it dope, you can always defer back. I am still deferring back. Jennifer just wrote me a letter. Remember, she just popped me a fly letter for I was applying for a fellowship, and she wrote me a letter, and so
at the last minute too. You was like, "Girl, I need this."
It was that's what I wanted to say. And listen, somebody canceled on me, and I had to go back to the people who first nurtured. I had to go back to Mama. Like, Jennifer, he canceled. I need a letter. And I wish I could put it on the screen. Bomb.com. The letter is tight. And I was able to submit it. And I'm just internally blessed to have this network. And I want you guys to have this type of network where you will be almost forever loved. And I'm really honest about that you can go back and get information. And I promise you, there's no judgment. Because listen, I done made mistakes. I hate to talk in front of people. I'm stuttering, spitting out my lips, but they still love me.
Yeah.
As much as I talk, guys, I have issues too. So why are you looking like that, Jennifer?
You on the mic now? Like it's good. You good?
Yeah. So I really am passionate about sharing this information because I see people, and you guys know I'm always in community. I'm always at some community event, and I see people doing things for their community that definitely needs resources. This is the way. Yeah. And keep trying. You might not get the first time, but it's every year.
Yeah.
Don't say, "Oh, they didn't like me." No, try again. Right?
I feel like it was Lonnie who may have talked about
it was his third time, wasn't it?
Yeah. And someone who's in the cohort now, Kelvin. I remember Kelvin would be at all those information sessions. He applied like every year he applying. And then finally, but not only did he apply, but he always followed up. He was like, "Oh, what was wrong with my application? What can I do to change it?" Like he, not only was it like it didn't go through, but he always scheduled that conversation after the application to be like, what can I do to improve? And after he took those notes, he came back, and now he's an awardee this year.
Look at that. And that's what you do. It's called humility and gratitude. The grace is that this is present for you to actually access. The humility is you might not get it the first time, but it's not the end. It is where it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So you have to continue. You have to apply next year. And like Kelvin did, ask for some feedback. None of us are perfect. And some of our ideas are they don't even understand what you submitted. You might have submitted something so grandiose that they can't even get it. And you need to scale it down. You need to fine tune it. It's okay. Please don't say, "Oh, I'm never going to do that again." No, continue next year because it's worth it. I promise you it's worth it. I'm going to say I'm the bomb.com because I got it on the first thing. I'm so blessed. And it's not that I'm the best out of anything, but my program was pretty innovative. So, I got it on the first try, and I was so blessed to do that. And really I was so amazed that I got it. I said, "Oh, they're going to try. I'm too new. It'll be next year. I'm sitting in my bathrobe with these funky grits." They're not playing with me. But they actually said that I was in that cohort, and I couldn't believe it. So even when you doubt yourself, if you write what you're supposed to write and you're authentic in your space and you know what you want to do, they're going to choose you. I promise you that.
Yep.
Yep, I promise you that. So Jennifer, what what kind of what would you tell folks to should they submit early? Does that matter? Do y'all look? I mean, what would get them? Because people say, well, what would get me? What will get me there, Queen? What's gonna get me to get to that award? So, is there any? Give us some game.
I mean, I think we've been good, right? Like your idea needs to be innovative. You need to
Mhm.
focus and make sure that people understand what your project is. I also say that when we talk about that, what got you started on this path to social justice,
That's
it
important.
always align, like it should align with like what you're working on, right? Like if you're saying, I'm out here and I created this youth program, but like your path to social justice was recycling. I like it's no like it's not a tie for
There's
me.
no
Like I don't
correlation, bruh.
I don't feel that you're really invested in the city of Baltimore, right? Like
Absolutely. Yeah.
and there have been some really powerful stories around what has gotten people started on this path to social justice. And like
Hmm.
we want to hear that story. Like why are you doing this work? Like what
Hmm.
about this? What about Baltimore City and this life got you started doing the work that you're doing, and why it's important for you to continue to do this work or start this work if you've never started it before. Why should we fund you and invest in you?
And I'm telling you, that's game right there because you, what you the what's authentic to you
Mhm.
starts with how you got there.
Right.
So, and trust me, guys, they 7 cohorts in. They know trash. They know when you playing games. They know when you really want to sell lollipops, but you talk about you helping youth. They listen. Don't come playing no games. So that's what I'm saying. Be authentic. This got to be hard work. Let me tell you something about social entrepreneurship. It might be some money in it at some point, but it's really hard.
It
It's
is.
hard work. It's what we do. It's almost like our rent that we pay.
Mhm.
It's like
Hey,
we're
Shirley. That's Shirley Chisholm.
yeah, it is. When we pay to live, it's
Mhm.
service.
Mhm.
And that's what it is. It's absolutely service. And I'm not saying service is free. I'm not saying you're not going to get paid because listen, there is nonprofits, it's not many poor nonprofits out here. They're doing pretty good. So
Right.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you're not going to get paid. What I'm saying is it has to first start in your heart.
Mhm.
And it has to be authentic because you're asking to be someone to give you 10 racks, yo. Let me break it down to y'all. Let me put y'all something. You want 10 racks, shorty? To get them 10 racks, you got to come and lay 10 stacks of that heart out.
Yes.
You gotta tell them what you're doing. I mean, I'm really passionate about this because you guys know I love the Black community, I love Black people, and we need innovation. And it's not going to come from other people. We got to stop waiting
Mhm.
for other people to bring innovations to our communities. It comes from you. You're in it. You're experiencing it. You see how it will apply to your community. You are the best applicator. Just understand that you are the best applicator for this type of award because it is for your community. We are always waiting for other people to deliver. You got to deliver.
Yeah.
What you
That's
think, Jennifer?
that's a reason why so I guess some backstory around how we even got to the Elevation Awards is
Mm-hmm.
started right after Freddie Gray and the uprising, and there was like so much money, right? Like all these do-gooders were like, well, what can we do in
Yeah,
order to save these people?
because there's a problem.
Those save those people because they not us.
Them
Save
people.
those people over there. Um, and there were a couple of listening tours that happened between one
Mhm.
of the funders, and then they came back. And something that they heard, like one of the stories was this woman was like, "You all came to our community, built this rec center, and we didn't need it. Like there was no way for like there was it wasn't on a bus line, so people couldn't
They
easily
can't
get
even
to
get
it.
to it.
It was like not really walkable. So it was like y'all dictated what we needed as a community, and we didn't need that. And so the funder took that back and was like, oh, well, instead of us dictating what communities need, communities need to dictate to us how we should be sort of like dispersing the funds.
Exactly.
And that's when they reached out to Baltimore Core in order to help sort of disperse funds to community leaders who are, that's what we said, community leaders are doing great work in their community.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, like, you knew what your community needed, right? Like, you were
Right.
like,
Real talk.
these squeegee boys need an alternative because at some point they're gonna max out, they're gonna age out, right? Like, you can't be a 30
And the
year
city
old
is going to come for
boy,
you.
right?
They're coming. So we got to find a place for our young folk.
Yeah.
So, but that was my and me being transparent, my interaction with one of the squeegee kids. My program is to squeeze young people into the technology sector. So that's really what we want to do from ages 18 to 25. But a lot of the squeegee kids fit into that age group. That's number one. And number two, they were the actual inspiration. I was riding down the street one day, and of course, you come up to them. I always talk to them. I'm like, "What's up, bro?" I'm like, I ain't got no money today." They're like, "Listen," he gave me a card with a QR code. I said, "Oh, technology." He said, "Yeah, just hit my card, cash at me, and we good." I said, "No, you ain't got to get no money." He was like, "Nah." I was like, whoa. So that stuck with me. And I promise you, it woke me up in the middle of the night and said, our young people need technology.
Mm-hmm.
And I started crafting a program. I mean, I have a media platform. So it's almost like a sister program to really what I do.
Right.
And so not only now, because I started Black Box Radio as service. It's always been service. It's always been giving Black people spaces. Our story is the priority. And so that is why I started this. It was never for money. I haven't made $1. My goal was to put your eyebrows down. I haven't made $1 in 3 years. This is real talk right here. But I know that it's coming.
Right.
I'm developing something that is going to have legs and is going to have longevity. And as we add our young people on and make them a part of this is only going to grow greater legs. But you have to be patient too. And you have to be innovative in your thought. And I said, well, why am I developing this space? As a scientist, I'm developing this space, and young people need a space like this too.
They do.
Bring them in, teach them the deal, and let them do it themselves, because they're going to bring their swag on it, and it's going to be the bomb.
Yeah.
So that's what we are. And I'm trying to tell you that, trying to give you some lived experience so you can feel like, listen, anybody can do this. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to have any things behind your name. You ain't got to come in there, with Gucci. You just got to, your program got to be Gucci.
You're right. You got on a whole bunch of Gucci. I'm gonna look at you like, how much you really need this?
Don't you come in here with no Gucci boots.
Mm-hmm. Like, because what you could have done.
That's right. That's right. So this is really about servicing ourselves, because when you service the community, you service yourself. Let's be clear. It's almost like, if you want to go about this selfishly, do, because it's for you. You service the Black community. Guess who you service? You. So we have to look at it like that. We got to stop thinking of self. If we think wholly of somebody else, imagine how we'll grow. And I think it's just really so important. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Listen, apply for the damn award. Apply. So Jennifer, who is the mama now?
Her name is Troy Barnett. And she has a background in, she's done like coaching for like small business support before.
Well, Faith, first say what I mean by mama. Like,
oh, mama, she's over.
Yeah.
She's over the Elevation Awardee. She's a program manager. So she's like their direct contact, the coach that you will have. And she's the one. That's why when people are asking, it will be, I was adamant. I was like, second Wednesday, y'all know the drill. Like, from 5:30 into 7:30, you online. Previous to that, it was like you at Touchpoint. Our offices technically are still located at Touchpoint, which is Mondawmin. So everybody used to pull up on Wednesday. We would feed them because folks need to eat. But now that we are online,
see how they save money, y'all guys? They don't got to give us no vittles. Just get online and shut up.
Yeah. You turn your camera off while you eat. So yeah, so now she's over
Troy.
it.
You said Troy is her name?
Yes. TROI.
Croi, and she is not a program manager, so she's the person who will guide the cohort.
Yep. You all are the last ones that got me.
Yeah.
It's some of them that's like reaching out. Like some people in the cohort, their current cohort, they reach out to me now and be like, "Can you help?" All right, y'all jumped a couple of steps. Like I let y'all know in orientation, y'all not me. Like, just
do not call me. I'm done with that. I remember I used to go and I'm like, dang, I got to call JC like Jesus Christ. That Jennifer Clark is Jesus Christ in my life. Real talk. So I get it, because really, honestly, I didn't know much about the nonprofit space. I want to tell folks who have not even done anything nonprofit or done anything community centered that it's not the same as for profit. It really isn't. And so I wasn't familiar with the process. I never knew people gave people money to repair the stuff that they broke.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. So I never knew that happened. I didn't, and the money without any encumbrance, like this is yours. Never knew that was out here. And so it's something that you have to get acclimated to. The guidance is what you need. I'm not going to say basement floor, but it is the beginning of making you understand what you're getting yourself into.
Right. The building blocks. So This is like, you need a strong foundation. This is foundational skills. Like, again, to the class point, like it's training, it's 101. It's like first, people have whole PhDs in accounting. You're not going to get that level, but you will get like basic. This is how you set up a budget. This is what you're going to need in order to present if you're submitting a grant. Back to something you said that you didn't know about, the nonprofit life and giving money. You also didn't know about like the fiscal sponsorship piece. I do want to put that out there.
I have a fiscal sponsor.
You got to have a fiscal sponsor
to the end of the damn cohort. Yeah.
Because we don't cut individuals' checks. You got to have that fiscal sponsor or fiscal agent. We do have a relationship with Fusion.
Or if you're a nonprofit, that's different.
Yeah. But there's also a caveat. That doesn't mean that like people need to go forth and then decide they need to get their own 501c3. There are a lot of already 501c3s. Also, like people sometimes feel bad about making money. You can do good and make money. Like there's no like.
You don't have to be evil to make money.
No. Yeah,
trust me. Yeah. So and fiscal sponsorship you have to get this money. So understand, I have a project and I'm a year out from a cohort and I'm still fiscally sponsored. So it's not something that is bad. It's not something that you cannot navigate. It is just the way things go in the nonprofit world, that the money doesn't come to you because we know you're going to buy some Gucci boots. The money goes through a process that already has accounting for a nonprofit space. And then it's actually given to you. They don't hold your money. So don't think that's neither, but it has to funnel through a responsible piece before it gets to you. Right. That's just how it works. And so that's how it works. But listen, I got all of my money and no one took any money from me. I mean, the fiscal sponsor gets a fee. And if you're a nonprofit, then you don't have to do that. But if you need to be fiscally sponsored, it's okay. Not every program should be a nonprofit. I'm telling you.
No, absolutely.
It takes a lot of work to run a nonprofit. The back office is huge. Yeah. The accounting is something you have to stay up on. You got to know that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. So fiscally sponsor helps a lot, and you got to pay them for what they're doing for you. And it's just like going in the store. Trust me, they bought those clothes for cheaper, and you're gonna pay for them to transport it,
labor.
For them to present it to you, and then for you to put it on your back. The same thing. The fiscal sponsor is the first hit, and then you get it later. That's just how it works. And if you're not used to that, they're gonna explain that to you too. So just hold on. Just hold your seat.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right.
Through that whole situation, that process. And also if it's like, absolutely, I want to have my own 501c3, we can help you with that too. I mean, I definitely don't push that, but if that's what you want to do, then that's fine. We can help you with that. If you want to figure out an LLC situation, we can help you with that too.
Because we had some for-profit joints.
Yeah, we
did.
I
understand you could be, but you still got to be fiscally sponsored.
Yep.
So we did have some for-profit folks who had for-profit businesses, but they were still fiscally sponsored. So it's a way for a for-profit to be in this space if it's still community centered. Am I correct?
Yeah. If you just again, you can make money and do good, right? Like there are
Yeah.
plenty of for-profit companies out here that have a social component to them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and some of them may not be the best people. I don't know. I don't know these people,
Mm-hmm.
but they are like doing a service. So we do appreciate that. Like Warby Parker, like that's definitely a for-profit, but they give away glasses. That's like the
Mm-hmm.
social impact part. Tom's, gives away shoes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Bombas gives away socks. So it's,
Absolutely.
like they're all doing good, but they're making a huge amount, like
I
multi-million
mean, you look
dollar
at Hopkins. Hopkins is a big percentage of Hopkins and University of Maryland is nonprofit. I'm gonna be clear
Oh,
with you.
yeah, 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 true.
And they have their foundations, so they funnel money to their foundations. They have, I think Hopkins is 60% nonprofit. University of
Mhm.
Maryland, they all have nonprofit arms because they're able to utilize the funding and the sponsorships and funnel it into their systems.
Right.
So that is a process but you got to learn that. And don't be thinking you can do what
Oh,
they're
yeah, yeah.
doing. I'm just saying that these entities that you see that are big and huge, they understand that nonprofit is a process that they
Mhm.
need to have attached to their for-profit or
Yeah,
to what
yeah.
they're doing. And it's all under the same umbrella, in other words.
Yeah, it's, tax, rich people like to keep their money close to them.
They wash it about 4 times. You know how they do. So that is something that you can think about later. But right now, this is the bare bones. Start developing your palette. Stop, getting what you're going to do, because if you're doing something innovative and amazing, they are coming to see you. I promise you that all of these entities and where I'm going to get money from. If you do what you're supposed to do, if you set your structure up correctly, these entities need to give away money.
They do.
Be clear that they either lose it or they get taxed on it. They
Mhm.
have to give it to someone. You can be that vehicle if you set it up correctly. Am I
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Jennifer?
I've been in meetings. I won't say who it was, but they were like, "Our fiscal year is about to end. Can you send us over the paperwork?" And it was our like organization, and I had brought in former elevation awardees, and all of
Mm-hmm.
them got like they were like, "We have the money, we have to give it away." So it was just a matter of like those people being in that space. I brought them along.
Mm-hmm.
They were in that space, and they were able to get a funding. And one of them is like really good friends with an employee at that organization. So they almost always get funding from them because they built that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, all these companies' fiscal years come to an end and they have money
Like
sitting on the
June-ish, they're
table.
looking the way to get rid of that money. I think it starts in July.
Well, I mean, different companies have
Well,
different,
different companies do different
yeah.
fiscal year, but definitely they're looking to spend money to give it away.
Hmm.
And it's better to give it away than be taxed on it.
Exactly.
And so I'm just trying to tell you guys is set it up, get into a program that's going to guide your thought and get it to structure correctly. And it's a go after that because you're going to learn this space.
Hmm.
It's not like you're going to be on your own. You will have guidance. Someone will guide you, and you will have a process where you can call back and say, listen, I don't understand this. I've done it. Like, I'm not clear. Can you help me out? And who has it? We don't really have that in our community. I'm really wanting us to know, like, listen, apply for the damn award. That's gonna be my word now.
So
Apply for the elevator award. I mean elevation. I don't call it the elevator. I changed.
you're an elevator. You did coin that term.
Yeah, we are, and then you'll be elevated. And the reason why I said elevator is because elevator takes things up.
Hmm.
It can take it down too. It's a transporter.
It is.
So you transport, you got a great idea. Take you, it's all the way up, yo. Get in that elevator.
And go up.
And
We
so
only go
that was
up.
my, huh?
I said we only going up.
We only going up. And so that's what elevators do. They take you up. So that's what you want to get on the elevation award is really dope. I don't know what else to say to give it some legs. Apply for the damn award.
Yeah, just apply. It's a really good opportunity and you never know. And if you're questioning it, just apply.
Just apply.
Um, because
Yeah. And how do the process of you if you're not, because not everyone's gonna be picked. Do y'all have a number that you're gonna 10, 20? Is there ever a number?
It's 10. That's our sweet spot.
Okay.
I think we've had as much as like I've had as much as 15 under me, and that's a lot of
That's a
managing
lot.
people. With your cohort, there were 11, but the saving grace was that 3 of them had already gone through. So like
Mhm.
they were alumni and it was less sort of hand holding kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, 10 is really our sweet spot.
10 is your sweet spot. So I understand there's 10 applicants, but that means hundreds will not make it.
Oh yeah.
What is the process to talk to you about a person who wants to say, listen, I really want to do this next year. I wasn't chosen this time. What do I need to clean things up? What is that process to get to that, to get to you guys to find that out?
You'll have to reach out after the application is closed. Like normally,
Mm-hmm.
there you'll get an email, a yay or a nay email. The
Mm-hmm.
yay is like, hey, you need to schedule an interview. The nay was like, thanks, better luck next time. Or like we also provide resources to other opportunities that we think you might be fit for. There's also like I do want to say that just because you're not selected does not mean that you're like your idea wasn't good or
Yep.
that we don't think that you're like where you need to be to apply. It could also be that like we think that you're so far along in the work that you're doing that this wouldn't really be a benefit for you, right? So I
Mm.
do also want to give like that caveat. Everybody that we say no to isn't a no because their application was bad or like we weren't clear on the work that they're doing. It could have been like you're already at the point where you're getting hundreds of $1,000s from
You already
founders.
bossed up. What you need
Yeah,
us for?
so
Yeah.
it's like, what are you really gaining from us? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, how much could we really add to your work if you're already connected to some of the top funders in the city?
Yep. Because
And
it
then
is
it's
a
like,
planning, guys. Planning,
yeah,
not you planned.
yeah, like give it to somebody, get that $10,000 to somebody who really
Who
needs
really
it.
needs
So
it?
I do always give um that every time we don't select you doesn't necessarily mean that your work wasn't good. It just means that you could have been too far along or maybe you're just not there. It never hurts to reach out. There's always conversations at any level, right? Like if you don't make it past the application or if
Yep.
you make it to the interview stage but you don't get selected, always willing to have that tough conversation with people. The worst part is when people don't come back. Like I've had some people that applied and they had like really good ideas and one person in particular, I was like, well, this is what you should do in order to clean up your application. And I just knew that she would come back, but she didn't come back. Um,
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe
Well,
she realized it
it
wasn't
happens.
for her. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I mean, it's so that tell you it's levels of rejection. Some just don't need the elevation award. That can happen. So
Yeah.
definitely reach out and find out why, because you know you can't beat yourself up. Just
No.
go in. You guys go back into the lab, and keep doing the work though. Don't stop servicing, because it only gets better if you continue to service. So
Correct.
that's what I can say. Like the elevation award is a great start. We're our end, so we are going to get out of here. But definitely, the elevation award was one of the best things that happened to me in my social entrepreneurship journey. I
Yes.
will say that, and I will always say that to anyone. And whatever Baltimore CorpS wants to see Black Box Radio, they VIP, shorty.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
VIP. So
I
Jennifer, give us I'll give us a jewel leave a jewel for the people that so they can be inspired to throw them applications into and where to where to go, baltimorecore.com or whatever.
okay. Yes. Website is baltimorecore.org. It's a tab up there for entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
and just go under that tab and you'll see Elevation Awards. If you don't see that, feel free to reach out to me. It's Jennifer at baltimorecore.org. Feel free to email me and I can always help you along the way.
Is it
And
core
this
with
is,
S?
yes, there's an S on the end of it.
Okay.
Um,
.org.
yes.org.
Okay. .org.
Oh, wow, this is pressure, but I
Yeah.
will lean into my girl. This is one of my favorite people ever. And the nugget that I'll leave you with is, and her name is Shirley Chisholm. She's my birthday twin.
Really?
Yes, November 30th.
Amazing.
I still write her in, even though she's an ancestor now. So on the
Mhm.
ballots when I vote, I still be like, y'all need to elect Shirley for something.
Listen, I agree with that. She was powerful.
That's powerful.
Hmm.
So one of my quotes is, "You don't make progress by standing on the sidelines, whimpering and complaining. You make progress by implementing ideas."
All
So
right.
be the one to implement those ideas.
And tell them exactly when it ends, how long they have. This the outtake.
Yes. So application closes on November 1st. So you have until November 1st to get that application in. And the actual program starts in January. So if you were to be accepted, programming starts in January and ends in October. If you would like to see projects that have already made it through, we have our Elevation Awards Showcase, which is coming up next week.
Mm-hmm. And I
And
will be
it
putting that on the
is
box.
from I believe it starts at 5:30.
And make sure you guys send me the flyer so I can throw it out there.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
So it
people
is.
can
It's
see it.
Wednesday, the 26th.
The 26th.
And it's the Elevation Awards Showcase from 5:30 until 7:30. I will send you over a flyer so you can push that out, and
Mm-hmm.
you will get the opportunity to see some awardees and some of the projects that have made it through, and learn from them.
That's true. That's true. Listen, the Baltimore Core universe is a very fly universe. Apply and be a part. That's all I can say. Apply and be a part. We
Yeah.
appreciate you guys. Black boxes. We out of here. We box up and
Thank
out. Let's get some deuces
you.
on here, Jen. We out. Deuces. Don't go nowhere, Jennifer.
Oh, don't go nowhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
you stay there. Black boxes, we out. Good night.